Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Dre back with another episode of Dre's State of Mind. Now, we are officially a couple weeks, at the end of 2022. And it's been a very eventful year and learned a lot of things and went through some things. And hopefully make it out of this year alive because it's not guaranteed. But yeah. That's pretty much how it's going right now. Then seen 2022 has humbled a lot of people, and a lot of people said that they didn't want to forget this year. But I never forget or never want to forget anything that has taught me a lesson because that just makes me better, and I learn from my mistakes and things of that nature. So um, yeah, man, like I went through like a health issue for a few weeks. Like pretty much, I think it was in like November. Um, I started experiencing like this really bad pain, like in the left side of my stomach, and I didn't know what it was. Like I just chalked it up as to like just being really bad gas, and I still haven't really got a definitive answer of what it was really. I go see a specialist uh, February 1st, so I gotta wait like mad long to see what the fuck is up with my stomach. Hopefully it's nothing really bad because like pretty much like I could be ass out by the time they see what the fuck is wrong with me and shit. But that's the way the health game goes in the United States. Like they make you wait. They they fuck you over with the insurance shit, and then the insurance don't pay for all the shit, then you gotta come out of pocket with some shit. Like they be giving people to run around. Meanwhile, people is really seriously sick. So I guess like my man's wait time is like mad long, and I gotta wait till like February. Actually, it was supposed to be like February 6th, but then they rescheduled my appointment to February. No, it was supposed to be January 6th, and then they rescheduled my appointment to January 3rd. But then I gotta take my son back to Fort Gordon in Georgia. So that day, so I can't go. So then I had to reschedule to to February 1st, which it's a whole fiasco. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Uh, was experiencing the pain. It was like on the left side of my stomach, like my abdomen, and on my side, and I'm just trying to figure out why, like what is going on. Figure it's gas. I bought Gas X to like try to fart it away. uh, I'm like thinking like, yo, that's the quickest way to get rid of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me fart it away. What else? I bought laxatives to try to shit it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to get rid of the excess gas. And like the shit, it wouldn't go away. And it got to the point where like the pain was like so bad I couldn't even sleep. Like every time I tried to lay down, um, I just felt like this really, really like dull. Actually, it was like dull, sharp. It was like a little bit of both, like a dull and sharp pain, like on my left hand side, and wouldn't let me go to sleep. So those 2 weeks, I got like very, very, very little sleep, and I was at the ER for like mad times, like at least like 4 or 5 times within 2 weeks. I know they got fucking sick of seeing me, but I was like, yo, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. All they really did was just like give me an X-ray, gave me some painkillers. Um, the one hospital, which was better than the other, they actually, I guess, like did a CT scan, and then they did a CT scan with contrast or whatever. So they claim that they didn't see anything, that they just think it's gas. But also, like I was feeling like I was feeling numbness, like which I still feel to this day, like on the left hand, no, on the left side of my abdomen, and like a little bit on my side too. Like there's a numbness, so like I'm really concerned about what this shit is. I just started, like doing like everybody else do, go on Google and uh, looking up the worst case scenario. I'm like, yo, I hope I ain't got stomach cancer, dog. That's what I was looking at. There's all types of shit that could it could possibly be, but I'm just like, yo, like this is the first time I ever experienced like numbness on the left side, well, just numbness like on my stomach. Period. So like I'm really concerned about this shit. Um, and like I think it was like earlier this year, I actually had a cousin on my grandfather's side. Like she passed away from pancreatic cancer, and started off she thought it was gas as well. Turned out it was pancreatic cancer, and she passed away like this summer. So I'm a little concerned. A little concerned, you know what I'm saying? Got a family history of cancer running in our family. So, you know, my grandma passed away from brain cancer. My aunts, a couple of my aunts had breast cancer. My uncle had he had cancer as well. He survived. Like my two aunts are alive. So pretty much it's just, you know, we got a history of this shit. So as I get older, just trying to, you know, any health issues that's going on, I'm just trying to, you know, take it on, take it head on, and you know what I'm saying, like, I'm trying to make it to like at least 80, 85, man. I'm not trying to be like one of them cats that pass away at like 50 or 60 or something like that. I'm trying to make it to 80. So, like I say, like I tell everybody, you know, just make sure that, you know, if you feel anything wrong or you have any health concerns, just make sure you get that shit checked out. Like, take a day off from work. Work ain't that important, man. If you got the time, take that shit off, and you know, definitely go get yourself checked out, because your health is more important than any amount of money. Your health is way more important than your fucking job. It's more likely, like, you know, your job don't really give a fuck about you anyway. Like, them niggas just tolerate you, but at the end of the day, say something does happen to you, or you know, you can't make it into work or something like that, they're going to go out and go hire a replacement for you. So you might as well just take care of yourself, make sure that you're good, because you're no good to anybody if you're, you know, in the hospital bed fucked up, because you you know, you chose to neglect your health. And I know, like, as far as men go, especially black men, me being a black man myself and having these type of thoughts like, oh, you know, I'll be all right, I'm Superman, you know what I'm saying, like thinking that you're Superman and shit like that. But as you get older, what I'm learning is, yeah, your body's like, yo, slow the fuck down, dog. Slow down. You're not Superman. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you that you're mortal. And yo, I gotta tell people the simplest thing, like, is, you know, as you get older, your body starts to turn on you. That's just the way it's designed, and that's pretty much how you die. Your body just eventually it ends up turning on you, but try to keep it highly tuned at you know, stay on top of things. Keep your body highly tuned until it decides that, you know, it's checkout time. So that's my message to everyone, especially my fellow black men. Don't be afraid to go to the doctor. Don't be afraid to go get checked out. Earlier this year, well, actually, like a couple months ago, I got checked out for prostate cancer. I mean, it is it does feel violating, but if it's going to help save your life, I mean, you got to do it. You got to swallow your pride. It's not gay. Some dudes be like, yo, I ain't with that gay shit, man. Like, yo, it's not gay. Like, get your fucking prostate checked out, because, like I said, like, yo, it's a family history. Like, I done seen people suffer from cancer in my family firsthand, and that's something that you don't want. Like, you may be like, oh, I'll just let cancer take me out. Nah, that's nothing that you want to fuck with, dog. Like, at all. If you could prevent that shit, I highly suggest that you don't go that route, because it's ugly. It's ugly, and it's not just ugly for you because you're the one who's, you know, taking the physical toll. You're the one who's wasting away. You're a former image of yourself. You know, people are not used to seeing you, you know, wasting away, and you're suffering and you're in so much pain, and then you're just like, damn, I wish I would have, you know, took care of my health, or I wish I would have took care of this shit when I had the chance to, when now it's too late. But also, like, the physical, well, the emotional toll that it takes on your family too, especially the person that's taking care of you. Yeah, like, you got to think about them too. You got to think about them too, because they're in the trenches with you, trying to take care of you, trying to make sure that you're good, and that your last, few days on this, your last, few moments on this earth is okay, and as less pain, as pain free as possible. But knowing that they're seeing you suffer, they're seeing you go, and there ain't shit that they could do to try to help you. Like that's that it takes a toll on the person, on your caregiver as well, man. Like, so yeah, just take care of yourself. That's all I can really say, man. Just take care of yourself and try to get through this thing called life a little bit longer. Enjoy the memories. Well, enjoy your family. And like I said, like, life ain't guaranteed. The next day ain't guaranteed. Shit, the next fucking 5 minutes ain't guaranteed. You feel me? So that's all I could really say about that subject. But moving on. Took my son. He enlisted into the army. He went into basic training. I believe it was May. Yeah, I think it was May, and he graduated in August. He was in South Carolina and went down there. Saw his graduation. Got to meet people in his platoon and just seeing other soldiers and interacting with their family, and then see how the soldiers interact with their superiors and things of that nature. Like it was a pretty good experience. No, then took him from the military base in South Carolina and drove roughly about like an hour and 15 minutes to Fort Gordon, where he's stationed at now. And then, you know, dropped him off. That was tech school. He graduated tech school. Right now, he's on starting on December 18th. He's on winter leave. He's got to be back on the 3rd. And then 3 days after he goes back to Fort Gordon, then he gets shipped off to Fort Bragg, which is going to be his home for the next 3 years. So I was like, it's going to be your home for the next 3 years, and then you can calculate your next move and see what you want to do. If you want to re-enlist or if you want to go back in there. If you want to re-enlist or get out. Either way, you're going to be all right. So when you get out, people see that you got the Army on your resume. These jobs, more than likely you're going to get, you're going to get top billing in the job. So pretty much any job that you apply for, it's yours. It's yours for the taking. So pretty much, I'm just, proud and seeing, how he's maneuvering through life right now. Just trying to, as far as my daughter goes, just trying to get her successfully to graduate high school. That's all we really focus on with her. And then we're going to focus on her future and see what's going on, see what she wants to do, because she's having a little trouble trying to see what she wants to do. But, we all go through that, as, she just turned 18. So, yeah, we're going to see what she decides to do. And my only job as her parent is to, see what she wants to do and then try to steer her in the right direction and just be there for her support, whether it be emotional, physical, or just try to be there financially for her and, just try to help her out, man. Like, that's pretty much it. And, yeah, man. So it's been a lot of shit going on. I was at a tech job. That ultimately didn't work out because, the pay was like kind of low. And, like pretty much, there's some issues going on at that job where I thought like they pretty much wanted to, we're trying to find ways to get rid of me. So, yeah, so I left. I beat them to it because you ain't gonna fire me for some bullshit. So pretty much, like I left that job, but just looking for a new tech job. In the meanwhile, working on trying to get past the second part of my A+ certification so I could be officially A+ certified. Put that on my resume. It makes my resume look better. But right now, just looking for another tech job, and preferably something remote because I would prefer to work from home. but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, man. So it's pretty much some of the main events that's happened on my 2022, and I hope everybody else's 2022 is was pretty good, pretty solid for them. And we're just gonna move on to the next subject. Now I was always going through the news. You know what I'm saying? I just seen like some shit that makes absolutely no fucking sense. So Congress is back on some bullshit. And they have new proposals that have been introduced to the U.S. Congress that would basically ban TikTok from being used within the country, or more specifically, the proposed new laws would protect Americans by blocking and prohibiting transactions from TikTok and other social media and any other social media company in or under the influence of China, Russia, and several other foreign countries of concern. So I guess like they're worried about like spying or whatever, but it says like it's no secret that there are concerns in the U.S. political community about TikTok and its ownership by China-based company ByteDance. Those concerns usually center on claims that the Chinese government can access user data on the TikTok platform and has influence over content filtering. Claims TikTok strongly denies. Now it says when he was still U.S. president, Donald Trump tried to ban the use of TikTok within America via an executive order, but that ban never went into effect because of various legal channels in the courts. Joe Biden then revoked the order once he was in charge. So, nevertheless, concerns about TikTok continue to be expressed by American politicians, including some on Biden's side of the the political divide, and talks have continued between ByteDance and the U.S. government within this with the former seeking to allay the concerns on the matter. So I'm just like, like y'all worried about the wrong shit. Like there's a whole bunch of other shit that could be of major concern, but you're just worried about TikTok. Like you're claiming that you're concerned about China getting information and all this and that, but I'm like, once your information is out in the internet, anybody can get your information. So this isn't about that. This is about y'all not fucking with China, and y'all don't want shit to do with China. But I'm like, China owns like the majority of the world, my nigga. Like the majority of the shit that we consume in this country, whether it be clothes, electronics, or whatever, shit's made in China, or it's made in countries that's controlled by China. You know what I'm saying? So you're just doing this shit for no fucking reason at all. And pretty much Mark Rubio's dumbass, Marco Rubio, like pretty much says the proposed new laws that would block any transactions with TikTok and other Chinese or Russian-owned social media services have been brought to Congress by Republican Mark Rubio in the Senate and Republican Mike Gallagher and Democrat Raja Raja Krishnamurthy of the House of Representatives. Somewhat ironically, given that they target a short form content app, those proposals are contained in a piece of legislation with the ridiculously long title of the Averting the National Threat of Internet Surveillance, Oppressive Censorship and Influence, and Algorithmic Learning by the Chinese Communist Party Act. Yo, that's a long ass fucking title. That title's long as shit because it makes the anti-social CCP Act not really. All right, so says Rubio, this isn't about creative videos. This is about an app that is collecting data on tens of millions of American children and adults every day. We know it's used to manipulate feeds and influence elections. How the fuck? I've never seen anybody like try to influence elections. You know what I'm saying? Like with TikTok. Like you have motherfuckers out here that they argue, they do the political debates like all the time, Then there's all types of people that be arguing on TikTok and shit like that, but nobody's out here like, yo, vote for this nigga or vote for that nigga. Like, no, nobody's like, they're just making this shit up, and the people who follow these politicians, they just eating the shit up. Like, am I yeah, I use TikTok, but I just mainly like post like silly ass videos or like fucking gaming videos from my streaming channel. Pretty much like my Twitch or something like that. Like, but other than that, like TikTok is pretty much it's pretty much harmless, man. Like in my opinion, and they just finding new shit that's to fucking make a big deal out of. Like they try to back in the day when I was in high school, try to ban fucking video games and shit like Grand Theft Auto, trying to say it's too violent. Um, kids can't tell between you know fantasy and reality and things of that nature. I'm like, yo, it's a fucking video game, my nigga. Like, if your kid can't tell the difference between fantasy and reality, they need to get checked out ASAP. So it's just Congress just trying to control shit when you need to worry about other shit like Russia and all these other motherfuckers that's got like fucking nuclear weapons pointed at us and shit because they're mad at us because of y'all. So yeah, that's just my opinion. That's my take on that shit. I saw that and just wanted to share it with y'all and see what y'all think about that, man. This shit crazy. All right, so now what I want to get into is the topic of mental health within the black community, and more specifically, men's mental health. And it's a very serious subject because black men's suicide rate is pretty high, and a lot of people, they feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. They might be going through some issues, might be feeling some depression, and we're hiding behind these old ideologies. That you're weak if you seek help. It's taboo in the black community to go seek help. People, black people have gone through like a whole bunch of trauma, and they don't know who to reach out to, or they might not have anybody close to them to reach out to because, some family members they like to talk, they like to tell your business. So that's never a good thing. So, I always let people know if you have anything that's on your mind or if you need to talk, just hit me up. You know, you got my number. Just hit me up whenever, and I'm always there. I'm a shoulder to lean on. I'm an ear to listen. But some people the majority of the people I know, like they don't hit me up on that. Some do, but the majority of them don't. Yeah, which is sad because I'm dead ass. Like I'm always there for my people, and then I even listen to strangers, man. The amount of people that I used to talk to or listen to their problems at Amazon when I was working there, like shit is ridiculous. Like I was just like their therapist or whatever, just listen and try to offer advice and just try to be there for people because it's the human thing to do. I'm a very compassionate person, but I'm just try to help as many people as I can. But pretty much, so it's like mental health in the black community. Mental health issues are relatively common in the black community at large. According to the National Institute of Minority Health and Health Disparities, African Americans are 20% more likely to experience serious psychological distress, such as major depressive disorder, more than white Americans. So rates of major depressive disorder in young black adults in between ages of 18 and 25 increased more by 3% between 2015 and 2018. Now, according to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, yet black Americans of all ages, all age groups, are likely to seek treatment more than white Americans. It says while numerous factors have historically contributed to black communities' greater incident of mental health challenges, more recently the ongoing exposure to decriminalization uh, discrimination. There we go. And institutional racism, alongside the pandemic, has created what Brian Smedley, the chief of psychology in the public interest at the American Psychological Association, referred to in an interview with ABC News as a mental health tsunami that could worsen by a dearth of resources to help. So the scarcity of resources and mistrust are barriers to care. So lack of access to culturally responsive and appropriate mental health care, along with documented racism and bias within the healthcare system, have made some people in the black community less likely to seek treatment, according to the research and Dr. Neil Barnett. There is a collective mistrust of healthcare and medical providers because of abuse black patients have historically experienced under the guise of medical testing and advancement, such as in the U.S. Public Health Service syphilis study at Tuskegee. So, there's lack of trust, between these medical institutions and insurance, which I fully understand. Um, you know, there's been a whole bunch of, for years, black women have said that, they feel that their physicians and, nurses don't listen to them about, like, their symptoms, their pain, what they're going through. They just try to play it off as, oh, you're just making that up and things of that nature, and try to prescribe them something that they really don't need. And so it's fully understandable where people are coming from. Now it says how masculinity norms affect the black mental health of black men. So adding to these factors for black men specifically are traditional masculinity roles and ideas across racial and ethnic backgrounds that have caused men to struggle to be with being vulnerable and sharing their emotions, making them even reluctant to seek help. A growing body of research and commentary looks specifically at how black masculinity norms and presumptions affect mental health among black men. In her book, We Real Cool, Black Men and Masculinity, the social and cultural critic Bell Hooks examine the impact of black men on social expectations that they'll behave in ways associated with black masculinity. So it says, viewed inside a black stereotype, black men can become dehumanized and visible, and their psychological and emotional health suffers. In addition, the lack of love and acceptance that many of them face can create a separate and emotional crisis, which that is true as well, because it's like a whole bunch of in all honesty, it's like a bunch of angry black males, you know, going around. Pretty much, like it could be like a whole factor of things where your dad is in your life, but whenever you fell down and got hurt, like he'd just be like, get up and get up and shake that off. Like, you can't cry. If you cry, you a girl and things of that nature. Like, it's okay for black boys to cry. It's all right if you're hurt, like for you to want to come to your dad, because your dad is supposed to be the one that's supposed to, protect you and show you that it's all right. it's okay. But he was taught by his dad that you got to be tough at all times and you can't show no emotion and everything like that. That shit, it takes a toll on you eventually. Or you have people such as myself. My dad wasn't in the picture, so I grew up angry and resenting him for not being there and not being able to actually talk to him. When I needed him to, I talked to him. Like, I first talked to my dad when I was like 17, and pretty much I was like, yo, I done been through everything that I was supposed to go through growing up, and I consider myself like, I'm almost 18. I'm a man. I don't need you anymore. And things of that nature. So we had like a little rocky confrontation and everything like that. But after, you know, I guess a few years of talking to him on the phone, I never really met him. Last time I seen him was like 2, and I don't remember that. So, pretty much like, you know, I had mixed emotions. I still got mixed emotions to this day. He passed away in 2018. I mean, he passed away in 2008. But pretty much like I still have mixed emotions. Some days I'll be like, all right, it's whatever, and then other days like I still be mad as fuck. So like, yo, like why you do this shit? Like, blah blah blah. But I'm trying to work through that shit myself, and you know, finally, like, what was it, 2020? With my fiance, like, I was just, we had a heart to heart conversation and things of that nature, and she's trying to figure out like why I act the way I act, and why do I shut down and not want to talk to anybody when I'm mad, or things of that nature. And I just let her know, like, kind of stems from there. And it's no excuse, but it's something that trying to work over. I'm trying to work on, and still working on to this day. I'm always going to be, I'm always going to be, a work in progress. So pretty much, things have gotten better emotionally for me. Able to open up more. Actually cried in front of her, like, plenty of times. I mean, the only other person I really cried in front of was like my mom. It's pretty much it. But and anybody else who's really known me, like, has never really seen me cry. Like, before, like, I would not cry in front of anybody. Like, I'll just wait until I'm by myself or something like that. And that shit is not, it's not healthy. It's not regular. It's not normal shit. But it's going through this life thing. Like, we all have experienced, I guess, like, bouts of depression, probably anxiety. All got PTSD. I probably got PTSD from a near fatal car accident that I almost died in 2014, and was still trying to, I guess, like, heal from that shit. Is like I almost fucking died on that. But it probably just increased my nonchalantness, pretty much with life or whatever, because it's like, all right, we can go at any time, so it's like, why really give a fuck? But it's just things that you got to work on. And here's 5 helpful tips for Black men seeking mental health care. Now, number 1 is you have nothing to prove, like, and that's major, because like when you really think about it, you have nothing to prove to anybody. Like, the only thing that you got to prove is you got to prove to yourself that you're doing the things that you need to do, and you're taking care of yourself, and you're taking care of your family or whatever, whoever you need to take care of. Like, you just have to make sure that you are good by your standards. So you have nothing to prove to anybody. Treatment in all of its forms is extremely confidential. So, say like you seek a counselor, seek a psychiatrist, a therapist, or anything like that. Anything that you talk to this person about, that's between y'all two, is doctor-patient confidentiality. So you ain't got to worry about none of your skeletons, and I mean, unless it's criminal shit, then they got to tell. But other than that, past trauma, things of that nature, anxiety, whatever you're going through, it all stays with, that health professional. Now, you can pick your mental, number 3 is you can pick your mental health professional. So sit down, share your deepest thoughts, your darkest secrets. With anyone can be difficult, but if you feel comfortable with that therapist or that psychiatrist and everything like that, you have the power to pick whoever you want to sit down to talk to. Now, there's no shame in seeking treatment. That's number 4. Definitely, there's no shame in seeking treatment. Just taking the first steps to seek treatment, that's a major step right there. And don't let anybody try to be like, oh, this nigga crazy, you blah blah blah. And it's like, nah, you doing what you need to do to get yourself straight, because you can't be good to anybody else unless you're straight. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're good mentally. Now, number 5 is counseling, therapy, psychiatric treatment are not just for crazy people. that's that's a stigma with going to a psychiatrist or a therapist or seeking counseling or anything like that. Like, you're not crazy. Now, to some people, I mean, if you're taking like medicine and shit for like some mental issues, then yes, you could possibly, what I'm saying, you got some issues. But like, you're not crazy for, like I said, seeking therapy and trying to get yourself together. So pretty much, man, like I just, mental health is very important out here. Like I said, if you have a trusted person that has your best interest and is, not running their mouth to other family members or friends or anything like that, confide in them, for now. But if you want to seek, professional help, or, and you go through your insurance and they take the insurance, and by all means take that professional route, whatever you got to do to get yourself right. Never turn to drugs unless it's weed, but weed's not a drug. You know what I'm saying? Like heroin, crack, all that shit. Like, that shit is not good. Self-medicating is not good. Turning to the bottle, becoming an alcoholic, or just, all that shit. Just deal with the pain. That's never a good solution. So, like I said, just, whatever you need to do, seek professional help. And I wish everybody the best, man. Like, and if I know you personally, like I said, you got my number, holla at me. I'm always here to lend a shoulder, or to lend an ear to listen to, man. I got you. But I just want everybody to be safe, and that's pretty much it, man. So we're gonna be all right. Just one step at a time. Now, I just happened to stumble across this article in Psychology Today, and it came out March 6th, 2021. Why men need to feel desired. And it says almost all men want to feel sexually desired, but few actually do. And I was like, you know what? Kind of relate to this. Kind of relate to this, this article. Key points. Interviews with heterosexual men in relationships revealed that feeling desired was very important to the vast majority. Only 12% of men reported that their partners made them feel as sexually desired as they wanted to feel. Expressions of desire include compliments, dirty talk, communicating about sex, flirting, romantic touch, and initiating sex. Sexual scripts can be limiting, recognizing that men and women both want to feel desired may contribute to healthier relationships. Now, there's no question that our culture is still evolving when it comes to sexuality. Male heterosexual desire is still highlighted more than feminine desire, queer desire, or other forms of longing and arousal. Yet there is an apparition of men. No, hold up. I just lost where I'm. Just lost myself in the article. All right. So does male desire tend to be two-dimensional? Exactly, because it is dominant to assume the guise of the truth. Men may feel pressured to be one way, and any other way may feel like a source of stigma or shame. So pretty much, I guess, like what it's saying is, men are programmed, or you know, they feel like they're supposed to be, I guess, like the one who's always initiating, I guess, like, the romance or the sex or things of that nature. But in actuality, they want, their partner, and they want their woman to, let them know that they want it just as much as they do, and make the man feel desired as well. Like, make the man feel special, for lack of better words. Like, I always say this, anyway, and some people will be like, oh, that's not what a man's supposed to do, and things of that nature. But yeah, like, we're human beings as well. Like, we want to know that our partner is still attracted to us. We want to know that our partner still desires us. So, but it's like 90% of the time, it's just like we have to let her know that, oh, we're still attracted to her, we're still desired, she's still desirable to us, and things of that nature. When I think it should be reciprocated back and forth, and like that's something I've pretty much been feeling as of late. It's just like I don't want to be the one who's always, you know, initiating or trying to, initiate sexy time or always letting her know that she's beautiful and, you know, giving her compliments and things of that nature. But it's just like I feel like sometimes it's not reciprocated, and I mean sometimes we need that as a man. Like we need that. We want a woman to know that, oh, you're handsome. Like her to be like, oh, you're handsome, you sexy as fuck, babe, and blah 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 and all this and that, and things of that nature. So it goes both ways, and like I just hope, like, because it says like only like 12% of men reported that their woman actually makes them feel desired. Like, that more women start to open up, and I mean, because it's okay for a woman to be like, talk dirty or compliment her man, or you know let her know her desires, her wants, and her needs, and things of that nature, and have like an actual conversation about this shit. Like that's what makes a relationship healthy. Like once being one sided is not a good thing at all, and like pretty much like more people need to open up and communicate with this stuff, and like everybody will be all right. But this is it's a food for thought. Like I just stumbled across this article, and I was like, damn, you know what? I feel some of this stuff that's in this article that I was reading, and I was like, this shit resonates with me because that's how I was feeling. Well, that's how I am feeling right now. But uh, hopefully, this will start a conversation, and pretty much leads to better things in people's relationships, and people can actually communicate and be adults about this thing, because that's how like some people it leads to them stepping out on their marriage because they don't feel wanted or they don't feel desired. And so if someone else is showing them that attention, showing them that they want them, they're gonna go step out and do that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this will prevent that from happening, but it was just some food for thought. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for this segment. So thank you for rocking with me with another episode of Dre's State of Mind. Just wanted to thank everybody once again who took the time out of their busy schedule to listen, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hoping in 2023 I'm able to be more consistent with these episodes, and be more consistent with this podcast. So thank you once again. If I don't come out with another one, actually I won't. So everybody have have a happy holiday, and I'll see you in the new year. So 1, everybody have a good holiday. 2, everybody stay safe. And 3, everybody show other people some love, and I'll get back at you. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.